Hey guys, welcome to our last session as part of our college open day. We hope you've enjoyed it so far. My name's Christian, I'm one of the trainees here at college, and I'm here interviewing Dana today as a third year student from the city. So we're going to talk about her college journey, and hopefully those of you who are thinking about coming to join college will be able to get some wisdom and insight from her experience today. So Dana, where are you from and how long have you been here with us at college?
Well, I'm from New York, United States of America.
Nice.
My family is originally from Jamaica, so I do claim Jamaican by birth.
Great.
And how long? You said how long?
Yeah, like years.
Years.
You've been here for years.
In Sydney? No. I've been in Sydney for 3 years.
Yep.
Lived in New York all my life. And what else did you want to know?
Where are you currently at in your college journey?
Where am I in my college journey? So I've just started third year, so it's
Uh-huh.
sort of like beginning college all over again.
And which campus?
City campus.
Sweet. So what were you doing before you came to Hillsong College in New York?
Let's see, a little bit of everything. I was like your typical New Yorker, to be honest. Like the sky was the limit. I was all about just moving forward in life, fulfilling my dreams. I also was a PK kid, so born and bred in church.
Pastor's kid.
Yeah, you know what that means.
Classic.
AKA rebellious, AKA on my own journey.
Yeah.
And so pretty much I was like at different seasons outside of church. And so at this particular season after finishing university, I had stopped going to church. So my options after university was either real world or more studying. And so as any other New Yorker does, I chose more studying.
Yeah.
And so I entered into law school, did that for 3 years. And then after 3 years, I fell into a job, like literally fell into a job as a hedge fund attorney in Manhattan. And I started doing that in my mid-20s. And by then I was still in my journey. So I'd gotten back into a relationship with God and found church again, found actually our New York church, Hillsong NYC. And
Awesome.
so I was a part of that and still figuring the journey out and stuff. But I pretty much put like a hold on anything ministry. I was just trying to separate the PK kid from now the adult who had, who was doing law and enjoying life.
Living the New York dream.
Pretty much.
So how did you get from a law job in Manhattan to enrolling as a first semester college student with all that experience to sort of put that entirely on hold? That's a big sacrifice. So what did you do? What was the process that went on in your life?
Wow. Well, I think I'm still trying to figure out how I did that. I think it's as the journey goes on that I start to realize, oh wow, this was a big sacrifice. In the moment, I didn't see it like that. I think going back to, because I had grown up in church and seen ministry even before I knew what ministry was called, I had always knew that there was a call of God in my life, but just went in different seasons.
Yeah.
And so while I was in law and practicing that, I was also planted in church. And so being really key in church as a youth leader, interning for our pastors, and it was just people I trusted, the pastors in my world, and they were like, do you know that there's still a calling for ministry? You know, that typical language, like God still has something he wants you to do. You're still called to build a church. And it was just seeds being planted as I still was walking out law. And the truth of the matter is, for me, it came to a journey in the road. Like, and everyone doesn't have that, but I had that journey in the road where it's like, okay, I can continue to practice law, and I was well ready to do that, and just keep serving God that way. But God really had other plans. So I remember, actually, it's a funny story, like not as funny looking back, but it was like mid-20s after 2 years of practicing law, and I go into the partner's office, and he's like, we're restructuring the firm, we're moving forward, and we're thinking about everyone. And he had mentioned me in it since I've started. And he was just like, but I don't think that this is the best fit for you. Like, I don't think that this is what you're supposed to do with your life. And I was like, what? And I was just sitting there like, are you sure? Like, I'm pretty sure this is it. And I was just had a surreal moment. I was like, have I just been let go from my first adult job? Like, you're supposed to make it in New York, not be let go. And I called Kane at the time, I pastored at NYC, and he was like, yeah, it sounds like an answered prayer, so come to church and keep getting involved. And I did. And one day he just had a conversation with me. He was like, what about Hillsong College? And again, I'm a bit rebellious, aka pastor's kid. And I was like, why would I do that? And he was like, okay, we'll just keep praying and we'll think about it later. And about maybe 2 months passed, and he came back to me and he was like, what about college? And he just explained, like, why wouldn't you? Just to get the heart again of what it is, and to really have foundations reset and to grow as a person and to learn things. And by then I had seen so many people in my world, they had gone through it. And so in my mind, it was more of a just, why wouldn't I just take a next step?
Yeah, for sure. A lot of people think that like if you pursue a career outside of the church, you can't do ministry, and they dichotomize the two. They sort of have a job and do ministry. For someone who was in the law firm and now is near the end of their ministry studies, do you think that you could go back into the law firm and call it ministry, or are you planning on going full-time, wanting to work for church?
Well, look, in my opinion, again, it's not law, that's been my opinion. The two can be equally true and not be separate. So ministry is just the outwork, in my opinion, of your life for Christ. So it can be in any field, and one of the fields is law. It is the marketplace, it's the corporate world that you're living for Jesus, and so that is ministry. And so a person can come, study here for 3 years, get their internal world set right, grow more as a person, learn how to lead. And I think that that's what our college does best, is that they teach you how to lead and influence in any sphere of life. They're preparing you for wherever you go post this. And so someone can leave here and work as an attorney, work as a doctor, work in government, and still be doing ministry. Because it's they teach you mostly about your character and how you interact with people and how to lead them, how to develop people, which you can do in any sphere of life. So I definitely think that that's something that can be done. As for me, I'll be honest, I'm always on a journey. I don't really know where my next steps are, but it could look like a myriad of things.
How is your expectation as a first semester? You stepped off that plane, you went to orientation, and you had your first week of lectures. How has your expectation of Hillsong College changed now that you're in third year?
It's changed dramatically. I'll never forget this story again, and this is me being my typical New Yorker self, when the pastors in New York were like, okay, you're going to college. And I was like, yeah, I'm just going to try it out for a year. That was my attitude. I'm going to try it out for a year. I'll give it a go. Let's have fun. And now looking back, I'm like, wow, this was the best decision I could have ever made. It was 3 years starting of the 3 years, God really transforming me, of something happening within me and around me. I've seen myself develop as a person, develop as a leader, develop as a child of God, a better daughter, a better friend. And so my expectations, when I see new first years come in or people transition in the second year thinking about 30, I'm like, with each year you actually get better and stronger. Each year is better for you. Like, there's something that happens here practically in the classes, with the trainers, with your flatmates, on the job, and there's something that God does just supernaturally that really does transform you here. So it was one of those great decisions. And sometimes I think, because when people go, well, I don't know if I should, or I'm working, or I've already chosen this path in life. Like, I'm like, look at me, like, if you had asked me at 18, go to Bible college, no, I'm not doing ministry. That was just my stance in it. Even though I knew in my heart there was a call of God. So I chose another way, and I wasn't right or wrong. I just chose to do law. And I still made it on my journey at this stage of journey to now be at Bible college and do ministry. So it's possible. And for some people, I think you may not get the word from heaven or the angels ascended. And if you do, it's awesome, but some people
God bless
don't.
You.
Some people don't. And for me, I didn't. I just had trusted people in my world that I knew believed in my future. I listened to their advice.
Awesome.
I had wisdom. I planned and prepared. I thought to myself, you know what, like, Donna, you didn't wait for a word from heaven to go to university or to go to law school. Like, so why not just give this a go too? Why not just listen to the advice of people you trust? Plan for it, prepare for the finances, and give it a go. Why wouldn't you? Looking back on it.
That's awesome. A lot of wisdom in that. What would you say, now that you've done the journey for 2 and almost 2.5 years, to someone who is considering coming as a first semester student? What is something that you would tell them, some advice that you would share?
I would say just relax into it, to be honest. Take it easy. I think for me, come from New York, everything is go, 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 go. You have to know everything, and you have to be well planned out. And that's good to an extent. You know, plan and prepare for it. Get your heart ready. Get your finances ready. Understand that you are moving to a totally different country. Like, I'll give you a story. when I first came here. I think for a bit I took it too easy. I just thought I was coming on a holiday, and I forgot I was moving to another country. And so like the second day I'm here, it's a Saturday, and two of my friends pick me up, and they're Aussie, and so you know the nature, everything's relaxed, everything's fun. They're like, we're going to this beach, Coogee Beach, you want to come? I'm like, sure. And they're like, easy. And I had plans later on in the night. So we're at the beach, and I'm literally like, okay, I'm living the dream. The sun is shining. I'm getting great Instagram shots, you know, those ones that you post and everyone's liking them. I'm like, this is the dream. And the water's nice, it's packed. I'm like, this is awesome. And then I'm like, okay, I've got to go. I got dinner plans, and they're staying for a bit. So I'm like, how do I like leave? How do I get back to where I need to be? They're like, oh, no worries. It's so easy. You're totally fine. There's some buses out there in front of the beach. I'm like, okay. So I leave them, and I go out there to a myriad of maybe like 25 different buses. And I don't know where I'm going. I don't even know the suburb that I'm staying in. I'm like, how do I get back? So I text them, and when I'm like, oh, again, easy, you're fine, you're Waterloo. So I'm telling you, I'm like, I need to get to Waterloo. Like, what do I do? It's at that moment I realized, wait a second, I moved countries. Like, I need to at least have the address of where I'm staying at. My mom taught me this when I was 2. Where do you live, Donna? Where do you live? And I like, for legit, it probably took me about 2 hours to get back, which is usually a 40-minute trip.
Well done.
But I learned now. 3 years on, I know how to get from Coogee to where I live. But stuff like that, it's like, take it easy. But stuff are going to come up when you move here. You're in a different country, and you just relax, enjoy it, make heaps of friends, open up to what's around you, immerse yourself in the culture, have fun.
Yeah. Learn the bus timetable.
Learn the bus timetables.
Find your postcode.
Find your postcode. Show up on time to classes.
Oh, or early.
Show up early, because on time is already like.
Yeah. Amen.
And look, I'm 30 now, so I've moved past this.
With your college journey, it's often you learn a lot, obviously, about the word, about leadership, about yourself, but it's also comprised of God moments. What is one significant God moment that you will take away from college forever?
Wow. I have many, but I think one that stands out to me would have been the end of first year chapel. And when a lot of first years I meet would ask me, what was that moment? It was this. We were standing there, and we had just come off of worship, and Katrina, our principal, came up, and she called me out, and she spoke the word of God over my life. And I've heard it before, growing up in church. You're called. You're here to build God's house. There's a gifting on your life. But she spoke something that just switched it on for me. And she was like, you're a leader. People will follow you. You've been called to help build the kingdom. You've been called to help develop people. And it switched the light on me. It changed the way I saw being here. It changed the way I saw college and my classmates and my trainers. And it's actually set up the course of my journey now. And she's now who I intern with. So
awesome.
Yeah.
And I know it's a daunting question, but what's next for you?
What's next for me?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's heavy. I'm waiting for the word of the Lord on that.
Don't worry. We all are.
Truly, I think what's next for me sounds a bit spiritual, but it's not, is to continue doing what I'm doing. Building a church.
Yeah.
Following Jesus. Really loving people. Saying yes to the next step, whatever that looks like, however it looks like, and trusting that all of this is just a journey. There's no right or wrong thing. And I think that's even with college, it's a journey.
Yeah.
Just take it and embrace it and do what I can in that moment and see what God does on top of it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks so much for your time.
Thank you.
This is awesome. It was great to get to know you, and I hope for you guys watching that was encouraging for you, and that you might be a little bit more inclined to step out in faith and jump into what we've got here at college, because as you've heard today, like, you can do it. And we really believe that, the best is yet to come for you. And I would just like to say thanks again for tuning into our last session for our online open day. God bless.